Sejam todos muito bem-vindos ao meu canal de lives diárias do jogo de Genshin Impact. Eu, a partir de agora, me chamo Patrulheiro X e hoje estarei aqui fazendo com vocês, no caso, a missão principal aqui chamada Missão do Arconte, né? Onde a gente vai lá para conhecer a terra do Arconte dentro. O nome dessa missão é Através da Névoa e da Floresta, do capítulo 3, Ato I. Eu já vou estar iniciando aqui a missão direto, né? Mas antes disso eu só vou estar verificando os eventos que acabou de chegar aqui pra gente, ó. E dos novos personagens também, né? Que seria do Taigneri e todos os outros aqui. Só tô abrindo aqui tudo que chegou. Nossa, o banner só vai durar 16 dias, eita. A duração vai ser até curta. Deixa eu pular esse aqui, que toda vez ele fica falando a mesma coisa. Dá um pulinho aqui, esquipado. E vamos lá explorar, fazer a missão direta aqui. Ok. Deixa eu vir coletar os materiais aqui também, já aproveitar. Ah não, só são novos domínios, ok. E partiu missão, vamos lá. Ah, a missão já tá aqui perto, que bom. Ok, já vamos lá então daqui mesmo, que eu já tô na região de... Eu tô aqui na região de Liu, né, que é no despenhadeiro. Vamos lá fazer a missão que tá aqui perto. Tem um teleporte aqui perto, que estranho. Eles devem ter acrescentado, provavelmente. O teleporte. Ah, ele ali, ó. Acabei de achar o teleporte. Ah, aqui é o local que a gente vai entrar em Sumeru. Aí sim, hein, que da hora. Vamos nessa. Bora. Bora, diretão. Eita, que tem água. Doideira. Vamos lá. Opa, achou o Seli já é um bom sinal. Cogumelo estelar. Nossa, olha esse local, que da hora, essa caverninha aqui. Que é aquilo ali? É um monstro? Mudanças na floresta. Continue avançando na floresta. Ok, vamos lá. Nossa, que isso aqui é um tucano? Eita, que legal! Calma aí, selo de 4 folhas? Em Sumeru, às vezes se podem encontrar esses selos que são muito parecidos com um trevo de 4 folhas. Aqueles que podem manipular o elemento podem usá-lo para se mover em grande velocidade ao ser virado para eles. Às vezes você encontrará um núcleo de cultivo que espalha esses selos de 4 folhas por todas as partes. Aproveite de suas propriedades para tornar suas aventuras mais fáceis. Ou seja, essa mecânica aqui é igual aquela mecânica daquele negócio eletro lá, que a gente usava lá na região de Nazuma. Vamos lá. Nossa, que cenário incrível.
Now that we made it to Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your sister. But even so, people call Sumeru the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But, Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumeru City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the Seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby. Wait a second. Look! There's someone up ahead! Perfect timing! directions rather than wander around like lost adventurers. Hey there! We're not from around here and seem to have gotten a little lost. We'd like to ask for some directions. Huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Wait! Could she be ignoring us? How dare she? Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where we could find other people to ask. Let's keep our distance and follow her. When we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for directions.
Através da Névoa da Floresta, Capítulo III, Ato I.
Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us.
Oh, que eles acabou de explicar. Selo de dendro. Aí, opa, peguei um selo. Nossa, que da hora o design do selo de dendro. Tá, tem que ir pra lá, mas deixa eu vir na estátua primeiro. Será que dá pra ir na estátua? Será que tem que seguir a viagem? Ah, eu vou seguir a missão, vai. Depois eu volto pra estátua aqui, vamos lá. Continuar.
Huh? She just walked near that small waterfall and then suddenly vanished. Let's go take a closer look. Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something, but it looks like that's not the case. Look, she's sitting over there. Wait, she couldn't possibly be living here, could she? What should we do now? Do we try asking her for directions again? It looks like she's meditating or something. If we bother her now, she probably wouldn't let us off very lightly. Oh! What a lovely smell! It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell making you feel sick? Strange. Paimon doesn't feel anything. What's happening? Traveler? This is no time for a nap. Oh, come on.
Nossa, eu vim para outro local. Eita! Nossa, olha o tamanho dessa árvore, como ela é colossal.
sure it's not serious? The Traveler's been out for a long time now.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now?
Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we? Hyman was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is.
This is Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you wake up. Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these. All right, I'll get it for you once I'm finished here.
Sorry, Master.
Now, the guide to Avidya Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board. But if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talking to.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly. So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He is chief officer over all the rangers here in Gandharvaville.
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training and meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as spirit borneol to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the spirit borneol I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition, as you experienced firsthand. Does that make sense? Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences? Or did you see anything while unconscious? Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tainari.
Wait, hold on a second. Can
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharvaville for further observation while you recuperate.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything to you. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Oh, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you? So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd suddenly pass out again somewhere else. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell, okay? Good. Now continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru and we're already having problems left and right. Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. It'd probably be best to let you recover first. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you, you know. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. But why didn't you say anything about it to Tighnari? If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tighnari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case, why would he try to hide that from us? Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tighnari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do? Good idea. Kale's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archon and customs in Sumeru. Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
A gente tá dentro da cabaninha aqui, ou uma ala médica, sei lá o que isso aqui é, véi. Vamos lá. Tá, só seguir reto aqui direto. Nossa, um cachorro aqui. Tem um monte de gente aqui que a gente não conhece. Vamos nessa.
Alright, next let's see. Right hand. Yes, not bad. But please remember that you still need to be careful. Understand?
Yes, I will. By the way, Master, I still haven't received the patrol route for today.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't be coming along this time. Besides, there's a chance we may encounter... well, you understand.
But I have a vision too! Am I useless to everyone now?
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worrying about right now. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand around here.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you two for a patrol south of Gandharvaville for the day. And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tighnari, we're ready to head out.
Roger, I'll be right there. All right, we'll be heading into the forest now. I'll leave any further details to Kale.
Yes, you can count on me.
So, Kale, what exactly are we going to be doing today? Tighnari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger.
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing assistance to travelers and locals. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven. Paimon, traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
Ah, lá pra baixo, entendi. Nossa, que é isso aqui?
Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move.
Nossa, que design. O design tá incrível. Nossa, aqui é um animal de carga? Eita, que da hora. Eu acho que é o primeiro animal de carga que foi acrescentado nesse jogo aqui.
Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make a note of it. No problems with this lamp. Good.
Nossa, passou alguma coisa correndo ali.
The Statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down this road before. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't clean the statue. Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. There's not much footing once you reach the statue, so be careful up there.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way, Kale, do you know anything about the Dendro Archon? You know, what's she like?
That depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Oh, is that the name of the former Dendro Archon?
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sarastana.
Uh-huh. Then what happened?
Well, and then... I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest.
Huh? You're not too sure? But aren't you from Sumeru?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. But...
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry, we understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Anyway, you two know Amber, right?
Wait, Amber? You mean
once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say that she helped me become a new person. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... sorry.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure, you really like Amber.
Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
Ah, so that's how you knew.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust, really. I wish I could tell you more about the Dendro Archon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Ruka Devata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Dendro Archon? So that's why you're here. Thank you for telling me your story.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright, we have a statue to clean.
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet back here shortly.
Uma nova fruta. Calma, o que é pra fazer? Pra subir? Tá, pra subir então tem que ser o Kazuha, né? Um dos melhores personagens pra subir e escalar. Vamos lá. Pera aí, deixa eu calcular aqui um negócio. Tá, acho que aqui dá pra escalar direto. Ok. Tem dois negocinhos daquele ali, o trevo de 4 folhas. Mais uma vez. Ó, o tucano.
The Dendro Archon statue of the Seven is up there.
Tá lá,
You should
tucano.
try touching it like the other ones we found on our journey. Paimon bets you'll definitely get a response from the Dendro Archon.
O mundo se abre para aqueles que são nobres de coração. Ok, liberamos a área. Nossa, essa área é grande pra caramba, hein? Nossa, olha também essa área. Nossa, ainda tem mais estátua pra lá também. Opa, pera aí que eu achei um domínio. Campanário da Ignorância, olha lá, chama o domínio, pessoal. Um dos domínios que eu tinha falado no outro vídeo. Tem mais um domínio lá no fundo. Torre do Orgulho. Mais um domínio. Caramba, deixa eu ver o que é isso aqui. Ensinamentos de engenhosidade. Tem um outro domínio aqui. Aí esse aqui, qual que é o nome? Reminiscência do Jardim Oasis. Ok. Tem mais 4 estátuas do 7. Caramba, tem um domínio que tá bem aqui perto. Nossa, como é que é o design da estátua do 7? Que da hora. Pera aí, dá pra fazer a ressonância dendro, né? Verdade. Vamos nessa. A essência da flora, a ressonância dendro em nós, bora. Caraca, que da hora. Vamos ver a ressonância dentro. Ah,
Paimon looks at it. The deity that's carved on the statue is kinda small.
é meio pequeno, eu concordo com a Paimon.
Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? The name does seem to fit the statue somehow. Well, anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. For now, let's focus on our job and clean up this... Huh? Wait a sec. Is it just Paimon? Or was there some... Yeah, it was kind of small and round. You know, like a vegetable or something. It really freaked Paimon out. Whatever it was, we should probably go and investigate.
Concordo com você, Paimon. Vamos lá investigar.
Actually, on second thought, maybe we should get to cleaning first. Paimon will fly up and take care of the top, and you clean everything below.
Pena que a Paimon não é que nem o rap do Fairy Tail, porque tecnicamente ela poderia levar o Traveler voando, né?
That's one clean statue. Let's head down and meet
E
up
se
with
encontrar
Paula.
com a Collie, ok. Tecnicamente era para a Paimon poder fazer isso, né? Fazer a gente sair voando, mas como ela não consegue, não, na rap, se fosse o rap do Fairy Tail, essa maravilha, véi. Deixa eu usar pra regenerar a vida da galera aqui. Tá, aqui só tem que oferecer. Tá, ainda vou ter que começar a coletar o... eu não sei como é que chama o negócio da Animolocus lá. Acho que vai se chamar nossa, eu não sei, Dendrocolos, alguma coisa assim. Opa, pera aí que modificou alguma coisa aqui, ó. Tinha uma coisa que não tinha antes, hein, ó. Intensificação, o que é esse aqui? Nossa, que da hora, vai dar pra trocar a equipe direto, ó, que bom. Propagação, germinação, que é as outras equipes que eu montei aqui. É só você apertar que já vai direto. Acho que eu entendi. Aqui é o nome e aqui é a equipe. Dá pra trocar só apertando o botão. Da hora, véi. Tá, eu vou tentar pegar o Traveler aqui só pra fazer um teste. Deixa eu pegar a equipe do Ayato. Tá, aperta a seta para cima e troca pro do Ayato. Pronto. Calma que eu esqueci qual que era do efeito do projeto enraizado. Ah, vai o Benê e vai o Traveler aqui só pra ver um negocinho. Traveler dentro. Quem que era mesmo? Eu esqueci. Era o Dendro. Ah, era o Eletro, não é verdade? Era o Eletro. Então tem que ser. Deixa eu ver quem que era bom aqui pra passar. Ah, pode ser o Riding ou pode ser o Shinobu. Acho que eu vou com Shinobu. E por último pode ser o Kazuha. Pronto. Shinobu e Kazuha. Pronto. Ayato, Shinobu, o Traveler e o Kazuha. Vamos lá. Deixa eu ver a nova skin do Traveler. Opa, tá, ele espalha o Dendro, legal. Qual que é o efeito disso aqui? Brandindo de espada, você desencadeia uma chuva de folhas que infligem dano Dendro à frente. Ok. Mimico Dendro. Canalizando o poder da flora em sua volta, você cria uma Lotus luminosa. Essa Lotus de Dendro. Blá 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 blá. Transformação de Lotus. A luminosa irá passar pelas seguintes mudanças depois de entrar em contato com Hydro, Eletro e Pyro. Nossa, tem um efeito também legal, mano. Ele reage com Eletro, com Hydro e com Pyro. Aqui eu tô com a reação de projeto enraizado. Vamos lá fazer a missão, depois eu já testo as reações aqui. Vamos continuar a missão rapidinho aqui. Aí depois que acabar a missão eu já testo as reações elementais novas no caso. Deixa a Collie tá sentada ali. A Collie parece muito com a Sucrose.
Welcome back. You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break.
By the way, Kale, have you ever seen any small creatures scurrying around the forest? You know, that kind of look like a veggie.
A creature that looks like a veggie? Well, I guess Master would say something like, all plants are living organisms, so they also fall under the category of creatures. Wow, fascinating! It almost sounds like an imaginary creature that you hear kids always talking about. I'll be sure to keep an eye out for anything like it. Oh, I almost forgot. Are you two hungry? I packed some food and water for us.
Yay, food! What kind of goodies did did you bring? Hey, don't be a party pooper. It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion for their food. Xiangling taught Paimon that.
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them. Whoops! No! You dropped it on the ground! Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Paimon nearly had a heart attack there. Those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to compliment the chef, Paimon. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers, so you'll be making your own pita pockets in no time.
Yay! Thanks, Kale! It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments too.
Oh, I guess it happens from time to time.
So, Kale, don't you think that Tighnari's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called, something? Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. Seems you already know him well. Anyway, I'm sure the sages were not happy about his responses. Master could obviously have a bright future in the Academia, but he insists on sticking to the path of a forest watcher. Every day he helps the locals of the forest and passes on his extensive knowledge to trainees like me. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Paimon would have never guessed that. Oh, speaking of Tighnari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But, it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why, is he going to die? It probably started to get under Master's skin after a while.
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Kale's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this! It's time for some primordial wrath!
No! Don't touch me!
Oh, sorry, Kale. Paimon didn't mean to scare you.
No, I just... I didn't mean that.
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that. Oh, Well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharville. I think Master and the others should be back by now too.
Huh? What was up with Kali just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden? Look, she's practically running back. Paimon can't even see her now.
Então, pessoal, para vocês estarem liberando essa missão aqui que eu estou fazendo atualmente, chamada Através da Névoa da Floresta, primeiro a gente tem que fazer a missão do que é anterior, né? Que eu também fiz no canal aí, pessoal. Eu vou estar deixando depois o link embaixo de uma missão chamada Ecos Profundos, se eu não me engano. Toda vez eu confundo Eco Profundo com Eco do Sacrifício. O nome da missão lendária não, missão do Arconte que vocês têm que estar fazendo é uma missão que eu já fiz no canal, no caso, chamada Missão do Arconte Eco dos Ecos Profundos, que é uma missão que a gente vai encontrar o Densleaf lá na região do Despenhadeiro, para vocês poderem estar liberando até a própria região do Despenhadeiro e também para estar liberando as minas do Despenhadeiro, que é onde a gente vai acabar encontrando com o Densleaf, né? Que é essa missão chamada Ecos das... Caramba, toda vez eu não lembro, é Eco da Profundeza, eu acho que chama, o Eco do Sacrifício, alguma coisa assim. Eu vou estar deixando aí embaixo no link na descrição, aí depois vocês pegam do link, ou eu já fiz aqui no próprio canal também, para poder estar fazendo para liberar essa parte aqui. Que depois de liberar a gente vai ter que voltar aqui para a parte do despenhadeiro onde eu tava, aqui perto da estátua, ó. A gente vai achar esse teleporte aqui novo, ó, que é um teleporte que tá bem no fundo aqui. Aí desse teleporte a gente já entra direto para Sumeru para fazer essa missão que eu tô fazendo atualmente. Vamos lá, que eu até esqueci que como o nosso querido colega tava falando ali. Ah, você falou que tinha desbloqueado todas as estátuas, né? Legal. Nossa, tem muita estátua do 7, hein? Caramba. Vamos lá. Continuar a aventura aqui. Então, agora esse negócio da Cole ter tido essa reação deve ser relacionado com algum trauma que ela tem lá da parte do mangá, né? Isso vai ser uma referência ao mangá, provavelmente. Algum trauma que a Cole tem, por isso que ela ficou com medo da Paimon daquela forma. Que aquilo ali é trauma.
Ah, Traveler. You've returned.
Yep, we're back. Have you seen Kale by any chance?
Oh, Kale? Yes. I saw her go into her room just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have to wait and talk to her tomorrow then.
Então, não está relacionado com a missão de Inazuma, não. Essa missão ela está relacionada com essas outras missões aqui. Pera aí só um minuto, deixa eu pausar para poder mostrar. Cadê? Eu não lembro onde é que era na missões. Era missões. Ela estava relacionada com as missões do Arconte, que era uma missão que a gente pegava para fazer, chamada Eco, acho que era Eco da Profundeza, Profundezas do Eco, alguma coisa assim, é que eu não lembro o nome aqui, que eu não vou poder sair para poder mostrar, mas o importante é você conseguir pegar, que eu vou estar deixando aí embaixo depois na descrição, certinho no primeiro comentário fixado, esse link no caso dessa missão, para você estar fazendo a primeira missão que está relacionado com o desbloqueamento das minas do Despenhadeiro, essa missão no caso, que é uma missão lendária que vai começar aqui, ó, mais ou menos, ó. É o inicial da outra missão antiga, que essa missão a gente vai fazer para poder desbloquear as minas do Despenhadeiro. Vai fazer um monte de coisa para depois desbloquear toda essa parte aqui da missão principal. E depois que a gente encontrar com o Densleaf, que ele vai estar por aqui pelo meio, ou mais ou menos, a ruína desconhecida aqui, a gente vai ter a missão exatamente com ele, né? E depois de concluir a missão dele, que vai estar liberado para vocês poderem estar fazendo essa missão aqui que eu estou fazendo atualmente. Que é assim que funciona no caso. Mas primeiro vocês têm que desbloquear as minas do Despenhadeiro. O que é pra fazer? Tá pra esperar até o dia seguinte. Aproveitar que eu tô aqui, vamos lá. Nossa, o que é isso aqui? Ué? Nossa, achei um pêssego no meio do nada. Uns negócios estranhos aqui. Novos tipos de fruto. Ok, novos fruto e esse negocinho aqui que eu não sei o que é. Calma aí, o que é isso aqui? Dendrogrão. Ah, o que é o dendrogrão? Tá, esses espíritos estranhos que surgem junto. Tá, blá 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 blá, dendrogrão, tá carregado, tá carregado. Tá, pelo que eu entendi já tá carregado. Ah, tem que ter arqueiro pra fazer isso aqui. Calma aí. Deixa eu ver se dá pra pegar um arqueiro aqui pra poder testar. Qualquer arqueiro que eu pegar vai ganhando mesmo. Não sei se vai. Ou será que tem que ser um arqueiro de dendro? Ah não, é só ter um arqueiro, tá. Nossa, tem essa mecânica pra desbloquear baú. Sério isso, jogo? Caraca. Aí é tenso, mano. Que estranho, parece muito com o Eletrogrão, mas é diferente, né? É o Dendrogrão. Peguei mais uma rosa estranha e pegou alguma coisa. Tem algum Geolocus, não. Tem algum Dendroculus aqui. Dendróculos, não sei como é que chama. Como vocês queiram chamar. Achei uma caverninha aqui, cavernosa. Achei uma árvore estranha. Calma aí, cadê o Dendroculus? Ah, ele aqui. Nossa, que bonito que é o Dendroculus. Olha que da hora. Nossa, ele é muito louco, hein? Olha o design dele, que maneiro. É Dendroculus, sabia que era o nome dele. Deixa eu pegar pra ver. Cadê o Dendroculus? Nossa, esse nome é estranho, né? Dendroculus. Olha ele aqui. Que é o que a gente vai pegar pra poder upar as estátuas do set. Ah, finalmente os monstros. Achei os monstros aqui. Amém. Finalmente encontrei com vocês aí. Já tava com saudade desses monstros. Beleza, vamos lá testar as reações de Dendro. Aproveitar que eu tô por aqui. Calma, pega o Kazuha pra baixar a essência elemental. E vamos lá, eu vou tentar fazer a primeira reação do florescimento. Quem lembra das reações? Ó, primeiro você aplica a Hydro. Ó, aplicou a Hydro, agora eu aplico o Dendro. Ó lá, gerou a semente, ó. Agora aplico o Eletro. Bum! Nossa, fez certinho, calma aí. O visível e invisível, o quê? Laxa. Ah, reação aqui, ó. Reação elemental, catalisação. Nossa, veio com o nome de catalisação, que estranho. Em vez de ser projeto enraizado, então é catalisação que chama, ó. Quando criaturas são afetadas pelo Eletro e Dendro, será desencadeada uma ação de aceleração que fará com que essas criaturas entrem no estado de aceleração. Criaturas que estão no estado de aceleração ou sofreram um ataque eletro ou Dendro desencadearão as ações intensificação e propagação, que é as duas no caso. Ah, então entendi, catalisação as outras então. Olha lá, eu tô dando acho que a intensificação agora, que é o Dendro com Eletro, ó. Essa foi a intensificação. Aí aquela outra que eu fiz foi o projetos enraizados, que quando o núcleo de Dendro explodiu e voltou de volta, no caso, pros monstros, né? É assim que vai funcionar. Ih, eu vou ter que ter um arqueiro aqui pra passar essas coisas, hein? Caramba. Tem que pegar um arqueiro que seja de Dendro e que tenha um arqueiro junto. Tá, eu vou ter que trocar alguém por um arqueiro de... Deixa eu ver quem que é de arqueiro aqui. Pior que a Ganu não combina com isso aqui porque ela é de outro elemento diferente que não reage com Dendro. Esse que é o problema, a não ser que coloque a Amber. Nossa, não tem nenhum arqueiro. Só tem a Amber. É, lascou, vai ter que ser a Ganyu mesmo. Não tem outro arqueiro. Eu não tenho arqueiro de... Ah, é, eu esqueci que eu tenho a Yoime. É só usar a Yoime, a cavalo de teta. Esquece da Yoime, né, ô cavalo. É só usar a Yoime, velho. Pronto. Arqueiro de paro. Com um arqueiro mais forte que esse aqui de paro? Tem, né, ô cavalo. Vamos lá fazer... Eu só vou desbloquear esse portal, acho que eu já vou fazer a missão direta, senão vou acabar perdendo muito tempo nessa parte de exploração. Isso aqui depois eu faço, velho. Que o foco aqui é fazer a missão lá. Depois eu vejo isso aqui. Nossa, que da hora que tá essa área. Nossa, essa área aqui é muito grande. Olha essa área que bonita, velho. Nossa, tá muito incrível isso aqui. Incrível, tem uma estátua do 7 lá no fundo. Nossa, isso aqui é muito grande. É o bagulho, nossa, essa área aqui é gigantesca. Nossa, mas é muito grande isso aqui. Eu só tô na parte aqui, ainda tem mais pra lá. Caramba. Meu Deus, até eu chegar lá eu vou ter que pegar a Sayun, né? Que, meu Deus, o bagulho é grande pra caramba. Mas é muito da hora também. É grande, mas é linda, né? Olha essa área que da hora, que maneiro. Nossa, tem um negócio de barco também. Caraca, que maneiro, véi. Calma, deixa eu chamar o quebra-onda. Ok. Nossa, que da hora. Vai dar pra explorar com barco também, véi. Nossa, tem um barco ali. Que isso? Tem um barco aqui no meio do nada. Olha que barco diferente. Parece aquelas coisas antigas do mundo árabe, né? Antigo. Nossa, muito louco esse barco, hein? Até o barquinho de pesca do figurante tá da hora. É tanta coisa pra gente explorar aqui que vai ter incrível. Ah, não, os monstros de novo não. Que isso? Tem um porco estranho aqui. Oxi, isso é um porco? Calma, volta aqui. Corra não. Ah, sumiu. Ah, velho, não deu pra pegar ele. Tá com dentro. Val! Olha lá, projeto enraizado. Fiz o projeto enraizado. Agora vamos intensificação. Intensificação. Ah, acabou, vai lá. Projeto enraizado de novo. Nossa, 3k é pouco. Que isso? Brincando? Eita, que dano saboroso. Tá, hidro com dendro, ó, vamos lá. Cria o núcleo. Vamos ver a reação de germinação. Pera, germinação agora, hein? Vamos lá, germinação. Dali. O que a germinação faz? Nossa, evaporou o bicho. Caraca, que da hora, véi. Tá, vamos lá de novo, ó. Germinação. Calma, tem que primeiro aplicar o Hydro. Hydro. Criou. Germinação, vamos lá. Dali. Nossa, 7k de dano. Que isso? Que dano saboroso. Que delícia de dano. Nossa, essas ações iam ser muito loucas, hein? Caraca, ele bateu 7k com o quê? Com o Traveler no nível 1? Sério mesmo? Caraca, que dano saboroso foi isso. Eu tô sem nada praticamente. Eu tô com essa arma aqui, ó, no nível... Sei lá que nível que tá esse aqui. Nível 20, sem artefato, no nível 1. E ele bateu 7k de dendro, só por causa da reação. Que doideira, véi. Incrível, mano. Essas ações vão ser bem maneira de fazer. Deixa eu só ir pra parte da cidade. Tá, eu tenho que pensar quem que... Nossa, tem um negócio aqui. Ah, eu já tô perto da cidade, não é só atravessar pra lá. Calma, deixa eu ver. Meu Deus, eu fiquei preso aqui na água. Que legal. Deixa eu pegar aqui. Tem que tentar andar pra lá. Deixa eu ver quem que pode andar pra lá. Ah, vai aqui mesmo. Tô sem ideia de quem possa passar direto. Bora, Kiki. Bora. Vamos lá explorar a cidade. Vai. Aí. Dali. Nossa, achei uma... Vitória Régia, sei lá. Vamos lá ver como é que tá a cidade. Opa, achei um teleporte. Nossa, essa cidade aqui vai ser bem grande, hein? Nem sei o nome dessa cidade. Qual é o nome dessa cidade? Que eu tô... Cidade... Ah, não, aqui já é a cidade de Sumeru. Tá, aqui já era a principal, então. Muito louco isso aqui. Meu Deus, aqui é muito grande pra explorar, viu? Achei mais uma flor estranha. Flor nova. Como é que é? Padissara. É a Padissara, tá bom então, né? Não sei quem... De alguém chamada Sara aí, o nome da sua flor, Padissara. Ah, que é aquele local que eu tomei do spoiler dos leakers, ó, tô chegando no local. Nossa, que maneiro esse local, véi. Ó, o localzinho dos leakers eu já tinha visto aqui no YouTube. Caraca, tá incrível a cidade, hein? Maneira tá a cidade. Olha isso aqui, que da hora. Opa, esse local eu lembro, hein? Esse local acho que eu já vi em algum vídeo do YouTube. Agora estamos chegando lá, véi. Deixa eu abrir o teleporte aqui. Isso aqui parece ser uma venda, um local de venda, sei lá. Dá pra entrar lá dentro, mas eu não vou entrar agora não. Entrar agora não. Pera aí, cadê o negócio da Catarine? Ah, a Catarine ali. Catarine do mundo de dentro. Ok, cadê o ferreiro? O ferreiro fica onde? Tá, aqui é o ferreiro, ok. Chama o ferreiro. Aqui tem um negócio de venda também. Tá, beleza, loja de venda. E tem alguma coisa aqui pra dentro? O que é isso aqui? Nossa, a porta que abre sozinha, que da hora. Tá, então aqui eu acho que é a área comercial mesmo lá. Caraca, que da hora que tá isso aqui. Meu Deus, eu tô perdido. Eu quero um mapa, mano. Tô perdidaço. Tem mais alguma loja aqui? Sei lá o que é isso aqui. Será que isso aqui é a academia do negócio do Sumeru? Tô perto da academia. Olha que fonte bonita. Legal. Deixa eu pegar alguém de anima aqui, que misericórdia, eu tô perdidaço, véi. Você já conseguiu desbloquear tudo, então parabéns, meu querido, porque é muita coisa pra desbloquear, Jesus aí. Deixa eu pegar saiu aqui pra dar um adianto pra gente, que senão eu não vou ficar até amanhã aqui, véi. Tá, eu acho que eu vou ficar com a Ato mesmo de DPS. Pronto, agora aqui ficou mais rápido. É, não sei, eu vou ter que, sei lá, eu vou sair daqui, vai. Aqui é muito grande pra explorar, depois eu exploro isso aqui, calma que eu tô preso aqui, eu não sei pra onde que eu tenho que ir. Então vou voltar aqui pra essa área, ó. Aí daqui eu vou seguir aquele caminho lá pra frente. Meu Deus, esse lugar é muito grande. Eu acho que eu podia só pular o horário. Eu acho que eu vou só pular o horário e continuar a missão principal. É melhor, né? Do que eu ficar parando pra explorar esse aqui, que senão eu vou perder muito tempo só explorando. Tá, ainda bem que a gente tem a saiu, velho. Como assim vai ser útil aqui? Tá, eu vou tentar ir aquele teleporte naquele domínio que tá lá embaixo, ó. Vamos lá. Deixa eu virar a saiu pra agilizar. Senão nós perdemos muito tempo ali. Ó, tem algum teleporte aqui perto. Meu, esse cenário que eles criaram aqui tá incrível, pessoal. Tá um negócio sensacional. Tô amando esse local. É uns negócios tudo diferente. Parece que eu tô é uma mistura muito louca do mundo árabe com a floresta tropical, tá ligado? Aqui do própria América Latina mesmo. É uma mistura muito louca do mundo árabe com as florestas tropicais. Tá, se eu seguir esse caminho eu vou pra onde? Deixa eu ver. Tá, tá certo. O domínio tá ali perto, então mas só tá à minha direita aqui. Vai, saiu. E a energia acabou. Não. Nossa, olha essa lagoa que linda. Olha esse local, gente. Que incrível que tá esse local aqui. Ainda bem que eu tô com a saiu, velho. Isso aqui agiliza pra caramba. Tem uns negócios de uns monstros ali perto. Ai não, não quero lutar com vocês não, velho. Sai daqui. Socorro. Não, congelaram. Vai pra lá. Caramba, é muito monstro aqui. Tá, tem que continuar indo reto pra lá que eu saio em alguma outra direção. Nossa, tem algum bicho ali. O que é aquilo ali? Aquilo ali é o quê? Ué? Que isso? Nossa, é um monstro? Que isso? Que isso? Crocodilo gigante tá me atacando aqui, véi? Nossa, que bicho estranho. Isso é um crocodilo? Eita! Caraca, eu fui atacado do lado por um crocodilo, velho. Como assim? Nossa, outro monstro. Que isso? Que medo! Parece um tigre, uma pantera, sei lá que bicho que é esse. Caraca, olha o tamanho desse bicho. Não vai não. Fuge dele, você tá maluco. Olha o tamanho, parece um tigre, mano. Pô, a gente luta com coisa, agora lutar com tigre aí é complicado, né, pô? Socorro, meu Deus. Tamanho do bicho. Olha o bicho vindo. Ah, eu acho que eu vou adiantar o horário mesmo, vai. Eu tô aqui só de zoeira mesmo. Só pra dar uma zoeira. Ué, cadê o caminho? Tá lá em cima? Nossa, o caminho é lá por cima. Ah, não sabia. Tá, deixa eu tentar virar alguém aqui que possa voar, né? Que é mais fácil. Vamos lá explorar. Só subir aqui pra ver o que tem ali em cima. Eu já continuo a história que eu pulo no tempo. Não adianta. Eu tô tentando chegar naquele domínio ali que tá aqui perto. Ué? Ah, já deu horário, ok. Vamos lá voltar, mas primeiro vamos explorar essa aqui. Olha essa ponte que da hora. Eu tô perto do domínio. Agora vamos vê-la. Ok, já tô indo, pai, mas já tô indo. Deixa a gente ser feliz, pai, irmão. Deixa nós explorar pelo menos um pouquinho, né? Pelo menos um pouquinho de nada, que custa? Ah, louco, pai, mas já quer que a gente faça a missão direto, nem... Aí, qual o quê? Só ah, o meu nível, eu sou 59 já. Eu tô quase no fim. Eu tô quase zerando no 60 já. Ok, desbloqueou um domínio aqui, beleza. Tem dentro. Quem que é o inimigo aqui? Opa, nossa, os dragão, que da hora. Ô, vou testar os dragão, hein. Vamos ver como é que vai ser enfrentar os dragão. Pera aí. Pera aí, calma, muita calma nessa hora. Deixa eu pegar alguém que seja forte aqui. Pega Riding. Pega o Traveler e pega alguém que cura a gente aqui, que seja um healer. Ó, pode ser a Noelle mesmo, só pra poder ter um escudinho pra nós. Vamos lá ver os dragões como é que é, já aproveitar, se não custa nada. Eu só vou enfrentar esses dragões e já volto pra missão principal, pessoal. Só poder ver mesmo os dragões, né? Que eu tinha falado também no outro vídeo dos dragões. Vamos lá enfrentar os dragões, os guardas da ruína, que é do modo dragão, que são tipo uns dinossauros muito loucos. Só pra poder ver mesmo. Vamos, bora, carrega. Eu quero ver os dragões, Hugo. Cadê os dragão? Como eles são. Ok. Nossa, olha o design desse domínio, que lindo. Nossa, olha esse design de domínio, pessoal. Isso aqui tá incrível, véi. Mano, muito louco esse design que fizeram aqui de domínio. Cadê eles? Nossa, eles são muito grandes. Tamanho do bicho. Nossa, aquele ali, bicho voador, que da hora. Dragão da ruína. Tá, vamos lá. Taca aqui, tipo, puxar no L pra não morrer. E vamos nessa. Caraca, isso aqui vai ser muito doido, véi. Calma, vira Riding. Vai, Trevor, taca o negócio pra nós aí. Ó, reagiu, já virou a Riding aqui de novo. Vamos dar projeto enraizado. Nossa, esses bichos é muito grande. Cadê o núcleo de dentro? Meu Deus, socorro. Ah, quase que eu fui de base. Tá, eles tomam dano. Meu Deus, esses bichos são cabulosos, velho. Estão de brincadeira não, mano. Deixa eu dar uma intensificação. Ok, intensificação, vamos lá. Luta com o garotão e bora. Florescimento. Florescimento, agora projéteis enraizados, bora. Aceleração. Não sei nem o que tá acontecendo, só vai, velho. Só vai. Só vai. Eu chamo ele. Vamos lá, intensificação de novo. Nossa, as ações de dentro tá bem maneiro, hein? Florescimento. Takoyata e bora. Vamos, intensificação. 61k, dali. Bem louco isso aqui, hein? Caramba. Tá bom, deixa eu parar de brincar e vamos voltar para a missão, né, pessoal? Só que eu só entrei só para poder testar os dragões mesmo. Eu achei bem maneiro o design do dragão. E bem da hora para enfrentar eles. É só você ficar batendo, aí você taca o dentro e ele seja feliz, fica fazendo as ações. A reação de intensificação tá incrível, velho. Eu gostei pra caramba da intensificação. A intensificação e o florescimento também. Tá incrível essas ações de dentro. Somente a intensificação, velho. A Raiden bateu o quê? 61k sem nem ter buff nem nada. Tipo, puro. Não tava nem com um buff do Benê pra dar o buff, né, de ataque. Sem baixar a essência elemental. Ela puraça. Deu 61k ali brincando. Incrível que tá essa ação. Isso o quê? Porque eu tô com o Traveler. Agora imagina se pegar um personagem de dentro mesmo, de verdade. Porque o Traveler é de dentro, mas é aquilo, né? É só pra ter mesmo. Deixa eu voltar aqui pra poder continuar a nossa missão. Vamos lá, voltar pra aventura. Eita, que travou a tela. Volta pra lá. Depois eu exploro mais aqui. Vamos lá fazer uma missão principal, que é o que interessa. Parar de gracinha, vamos nessa. Oi, eu tô achando o Sumeru bem incrível, principalmente a parte de exploração, o design que eles fizeram na parte das florestas, olha essa ambientação, olha esse cenário aqui, pessoal, que coisa incrível que tá isso aqui. Parece que eu tô dentro da floresta da Amazônia, mano. Tô na Amazônia da outra parte, no caso, né? Eu tô me sentindo dentro da floresta amazônica. Só que a única diferença é que aqui é tipo uma mistura de Amazônia com o mundo árabe, né? Olha que floresta incrível. Olha aquilo ali, que é aquilo ali? Oxi. Nossa, uns negócios estranhos ali em cima. Será que aquilo ali é casa? Vamos lá falar com o Taiguineri, bora.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Kainari? What are you doing here? Where's Kale?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply,
Meu Deus,
she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been dealing with for some time. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
So, Kainari, what's really wrong with Kale?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet.
Tá, vamos lá falar com não sei o que era pra falar. Que eu não prestei atenção no diálogo da conversa, mas vamos nessa, né, vi? Eu fui responder e não prestei atenção no diálogo da conversa. Vou falar com o Taiguineri.
Alright, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So, just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because... well, because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tighnari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes, it's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on the affected area of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you are already familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tighnari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led to her breakdown this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though, I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. Alright, now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine. I'll see you...
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Kale too.
Alright, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problemo.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as Lunar Lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tighnari, where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Lunar Lotus can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. Lunar Lotus grows in the water. When fully mature, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Kalpalata, for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, completely contrary to its name.
Oh, huh. Okay then. New Katai. Never bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
Esqueci que esse moço é de Hydra, né? Não dá pra acertar ele, pera aí. Vai. Cai, bichão. Bora. Aí. Então, pessoal, esse negócio da Cole aí, pra quem não leu o mangá, provavelmente esse negócio que ela tem, a não ser dessa própria doença também, né? Ela deve ter também algum tipo de trauma psicológico relacionado provavelmente ao Doutor, né? Já que o Doutor é um dos vilões, um dos mensageiros do Satui, e ele é um psicopata praticamente, né? Tecnicamente um psicopata. E provavelmente ele deve ter torturado a Cole na época que ela tava com o Satui. Isso explica o trauma que ela tem, no caso. De alguém tocar nela, provavelmente. Deve ser isso aí. Agora, relacionado ao negócio do mangá, não posso falar que senão eu estaria dando spoiler do mangá, né? Aí eu recomendo vocês lá lerem o próprio mangá, pra poder entender um pouco mais sobre a Cole.
Lunar Lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the need.
Ok, vamos lá procurar o que o Tag Nerd, nosso querido patrulheiro, tá pedindo aqui. Tá, eu achei uma flor estranha ali no chão, ó. Sabe o que é isso aqui? Lotus Nilopala Frisca. Ok. Mais uma Lotus e mais outra Lotus.
Alright, we've gathered enough lunar lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari.
Deixa eu pegar o Kazuha pra ter conta de grupo. Vai que eu preciso enfrentar algum monstro, né? Melhor eu pegar ele aqui pra agilizar a minha vida. Que é melhor ter ele mesmo. Aí, ao invés da Raiden, eu vou pôr a Shinobu, que é healer, que é melhor. Pronto, ó. Agora eu uso essa equipe aqui de projeto enraizado.
Hey Tainari, we found the lotuses you requested.
Let me take a look. Good, very good. These are all excellent quality. I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on some other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they doing back so early? Let's go find out what's going on.
Vamos lá ver o que tá acontecendo.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a Withering Zone.
The Withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already clear just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading, so we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the Withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like Tainari here. Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements.
It seems the rumors about you are true. In that case, all right, you two may accompany me. We typically only teach visitors how to identify the withering as they're about to leave Gandharvaville. We'll make an exception today and show you what it looks like up close.
Vamos lá.
Stop. Don't move any further. Look there in the distance.
Huh? Where? Oh, look! Those plants have withered! That whole area is kinda gloomy. Even the air looks like it's filled with ash. Oh, Paimon doesn't like the look of this.
That is the withering. All right, traveler. We're going to have to enter that withering zone. Once inside, we'll need to look for what we call tumors of the withering. If we eliminate those, then the area will be saved. Thank you, but I must warn you. Don't push yourself. This is your first time handling this sort of thing, after all. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the withering zone, you may experience extreme discomfort. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life and death. You ready then? Let's go.
Bora nessa. Definhamento.
First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Pera aí, o que é isso aqui? Definhamento terrível. O definhamento não é um local fixo, mas sim locais que foram corroídos por algum poder misterioso e ominoso. No definhamento, os personagens continuamente acumularão decomposição. A velocidade de acumulação será diferente dependendo do definhamento que você tiver. Definhamento terrível, dependendo de quanta decomposição você tiver acumulada, todos os membros da sua equipe terão a sua existência com todos os elementos, essência física e vida máximas reduzidas. Caramba! Quando o efeito do definhamento estiver acumulado, maior será o efeito dessa redução. Quando a decomposição alcançar o seu limite máximo, permanecer continuamente no definhamento fará com que todos os membros, personagens da equipe sejam derrotados. Caraca, que negócio tenso. Elimine as zonas de definhamento com o poder dos dendrogrãos. Somente dessa forma poderá destruir os galhos de definhamento que alastram esse poder corrosivo. Somente quando todos os galhos de definhamento numa zona de definhamento forem destruídos é que será possível destruir o tumor do definhamento. A maioria das zonas de definhamento pode ser destruídas assim, mas no definhamento, velas da vida e chamas da vida podem aparecer para reduzir a acumulação de decomposição. Prepare-se bem para entrar nessas áreas. Ok. Florescimento. Olha a reação de florescimento aí. Depois eu vou ver mais pra frente essa reação de florescimento. Ok, tá. Pelo que eu entendi, então a gente tem que primeiro bater no outro menor ali. Vela de vida. Ó, tem um contador ali. Olha que lindo isso aqui. Ué. Ai, eu tô morrendo. Tá, colete o dendro. Ah, era pra coletar primeiro. Ah, tem que dar um ataque. Ah, tem que ter arqueiro. Ah, sério que tem que ter arqueiro? Eu vou ter que eliminar esses monstros primeiro que estão atrapalhando. Deixa eu tacar o dendro ali. É, ó, o Anemon não reage com dendro, mas diretamente, mas dá pra fazer alguma coisa, né? Tá, tem que pegar arqueiro. Oh, meu Deus do céu. Ah, não posso trocar porque eu não posso trocar. Tem mais um ali. Nossa, ainda tem mais monstro. Taco o negócio do dendro. Não tô vendo nada. O que tá acontecendo? Calma. Já tem esse monstro aqui. Taca lá, aceleração. Eu posso agora fazer alguma coisa? Deixa eu ver. Tem que dar um ataque carregado, pelo que eu entendi. Calma aí. Ah, assim que destrói. Entendi. Ok, destruiu uma, agora falta o resto. Tem que dar, só dar ataque carregado, ó. Dá o ataque carregado. Destrói mais um, agora coleta de novo. Tá, esse aqui parece que limpa.
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Nossa, mas esse bicho. Que medo. Parece um cogumelo de Hogwarts. Não gosto do Harry Potter. O chão cai. Acho que limpou. Aí, boa.
Yes, thanks to you two. We were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
It's that obvious, huh? Alright, it's like this. Recently, the rate at which the Withering Zone appears has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that Withering Zone, it won't be long before another one appears. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The withering is leaving lasting effects on the rainforest itself. For instance, even though we cleared out the Withering Zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Kale's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
Huh? Well, why is that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. By the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground, all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the Withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's familiars a long time ago. But even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the Withering Zones here for a long time until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
Ah, mas isso explica muita coisa do jogo. Agora eu entendi, agora as coisas ficaram claras. Quer dizer então que tinha essa árvore chamada Irminsul. E através dessa árvore que vem todos aqueles brotos de liana que a gente conhece, pessoal. Então é isso tá explicado agora. Caramba, agora eu entendi. Ou seja, todas essas linhas leis que a gente pega aqui do mundo, né, espalhada pelo mundo todo, que são esses negócios de linha lei, né, cadê? Que a gente usa para formar livre, formar mora, esses negócios aqui é tudo dessa árvore chamada Irminsul. No planeta, no caso do Genshin, né, na terra do Genshin, vamos dizer assim. É uma árvore que provavelmente deve estar tipo debaixo da terra, né, um negócio gigantesco. Totalmente fora da nossa realidade, né? Totalmente fantasioso isso aí. Uma árvore que fica debaixo da terra, uma árvore gigantesca. Será que a própria árvore está falando com o Traveler? Acho que é isso que está acontecendo, né, provavelmente. Tá falando com ele diretamente. Tem um negócio ali, aquilo ali. Ué. Ah, negócio de moura. Tá, vamos sair daqui, vamos lá continuar a aventura. Tem que voltar pra cá. Nossa, é tanta coisa pra fazer, meu Deus, mano. É coisa pra caramba. Deixa eu trocar a equipe também, já aproveitar. Agora que a gente consegue trocar a equipe de uma forma mais fácil. Que é só vir aqui direto, ó, aperta pra cima e dá ali, velho. Aqui, ó. Aí que eu tiro o Bennett para um Traveler. Que é o de dentro. E bora. Pronto, agora eu tenho equipe de germinação. Vou lá pegar os equipes, os personagens mais fortes, né? Ó, tem um negócio de pulo ali. Ué, dá pra pular? Ih, não tá ainda. Tem que tacar dentro nele, será? Só que ele tá desativado. Não, acho que tá desativado. Não, acho que tá dentro. Ah, que legal. Aí sim, esse facilitou. Tá, tinha que tentar atacar dentro mesmo. Tenta não chegar perto desse ponto de teleporte aqui, mas tá difícil. Vamos, sobe. Aí, finalmente achou outro ponto de teleporte, velho. Amém. Dificuldade de chegar nesse ponto, velho. Tá louco. Aí, chegou. Pronto, liberei. Agora vamos lá. Ah, tem que... não é pra lá que é pra ir, tá certo. Tem que continuar subindo. Que isso, travei na pedra ali. Nossa, colocar o grande. Ó, o despenhadeiro tá lá no fundo, não tá? Aquilo é o despenhadeiro? Ué. Nossa, que lugar grande. Tem mais área pra lá. Ah, o despenhadeiro tá à minha esquerda, agora que eu entendi, ó. Tá, vamos lá. O que é para fazer? Tem que vir com a área principal aqui. Eu tô vendo alguma coisa de dentro aqui perto, mas eu não sei onde ele tá. Ah, ele ali. Achei. Ele tava em cima aqui da gente. Deixa eu ver uma coisa. O que acontece se eu tacar o negócio do dentro aqui? Ué. Ah, não dá. Acho que tem que ter algum arqueiro. Era pra ir pra lá mesmo. Vamos lá continuar a aventura.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The Withering Zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh. Wait, is that?
Oh, Tucano.
Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first. Oh.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw while you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsol. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsol itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneol are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsol, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her and she'll answer any questions you may have. No. I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing.
Será que tem como teleportar pra lá? Ah, não deu. Que pena. Eu acho que aqui a gente tem que ter um arqueiro de dentro mesmo. Tem que ser os personagens principal. Realmente. Tá, tem que ir pra lá, entendi. Passa por esse tronco gigante aqui. Opa. Ó, já achei alguém diferente aqui, ó. Ué? Que? Ué, o que eu fiz? Eu não entendi, eu tava sob influência do Dendro. Eu apertei o botão e saiu correndo do lado e vou pra lá. Caramba, que doideira. Caramba, cadê onde é que é a entrada? Ah, aqui que tem entrada. Aqui. Entrada da caverninha aqui.
Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area.
Ué? Nossa, que bicho era aquele ali? Aquele era um cogumelo andante?
There you are. Hypatia, are you alright?
So hungry. Need water.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden?
Nossa, que estranho, ele viu alguma coisa aqui. Que é isso aqui? Um negócio parece antigo, uma pessoa desmaiada que a pisa aqui. Vamos lá. Tem uma eita, nevoeiro.
Huh? How things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh, maybe you're right.
Ok, vamos lá investigar, pai, mano. Isso tá ficando muito estranho. Mais do que o normal, né? Do nada o mundo mudou, eu não sei onde eu tô. Eu fui pro Descumbra. A gente veio pro Descumbra agora. Nossa, que lugar bizarro. Bizarramente ainda é bonito pra caramba, né? Além de ser bizarro, é bonito. Continue avançando, atravessando o tronco da árvore. A gente tá indo pra Nárnia, pessoal. Se liga, é Nárnia, fi, confia. Nossa, olha esse lugar. Tem um cogumelo aqui. Tá, tem que tacar o Dendro aqui, né? Cogumelo em domínio. Nos domínios de Sumeru, às vezes você irá encontrar cogumelos. Os motivos pelos quais esses cogumelos não são uma das criaturas Trilakshana são desconhecidas, mas eles são realmente fascinantes. Tá, então a gente tem que tacar o Dendro aqui e pular. Ok. Ué? Tem que chegar até a caverna? É pra pular de um em um? Ah, era pra ir lá pra cima. Tá, mas como é que eu vou fazer isso? Calma aí. Põe o Dendro, pula. Ah, não consigo ir. Vai! Oh. Ah, mano, eu vou ter que pegar o Kazuha, pera aí. Será que dá pra pegar o Kazuha? Vai, cavalo, pula. Aí. Vai! Ele não vai, velho. Ó, tem um negócio mexendo ali. Ah, entendi, era pra ir nesse negócio aqui, pera aí. Aí. Oh, cavalo, pula direito. Aí. Ah, como não tá indo, velho? Que mentira. Caramba, como é que eu vou alcançar aquilo ali? É pra ir pra trás? Não, calma aí. Ah, entendi. É pra fazer isso aqui. Tá, vou tentar com as loucas, é mais fácil, né? Pera aí. Meu Deus, eu tô perdendo pra mecânica do cogumelo, velho. Ah, agora eu acho que eu entendi. Vamos lá, pula. Meu Deus, essa mecânica é muito estranha. Você vai batendo, ele dá tipo um dash do nada. Aí você tem que tipo deixar o próprio negócio levantar a gente pra depois mexer. Você pula, espera 2 segundos e depois mexe. Eu acho que eu entendi, assim que funciona, velho. Se eu tivesse um arqueiro, eu ia se teleportar direto por ali. Vamos lá. Eita! Ué? Eu tô teleportando? Caramba, eu teleportei.
Huh? What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Poxa, eu vim para Inazuma do nada? Como assim, véi? O que tá acontecendo, mano? Opa, pera aí, tem um baúzinho aqui, ó. Já... Ó o baú do Descubra aqui, que eles deixam a gente na... Ó, o que é isso aqui? Tem mais baú pra lá? Acho que não, não. Eu nem vou atrás desses baús, que depois eu já sei que vão fazer outro vídeo aí. Só pra explorar isso aqui. Tá, a porta da ressurreição ativada. Continue procurando um caminho ao nível superior do tronco da árvore. Tá, vou ter por essa mesma área de mato de novo, dentro da árvore. O que é aquilo ali? Resina primordial em um domínio. Nos domínios de Sumeru, às vezes você irá encontrar uma resina primordial junto com os seus caminhos que eles selam. Colete 3 resinas primordiais dentro dos domínios para desbloquear o caminho correspondente. Ok. Coletamos a primeira, vamos lá, falta mais. Tem um cogumelo. Oh meu Deus do céu, calma. Toda vez eu tô confundindo. Calma, espera. A gente tem que pular e dar esperar um pouquinho. Ó. Você pula e espera, ó. Espera, aí depois vai. Que é isso aqui? Ah, era pra ir pra lá. Ih, que legal. Azul. Aí, cavalo, bora. Tem mais uma ali. Ok. Agora falta mais uma que eu não sei onde tá. Pra lá? Não, aquele ali não é. Não! Oh meu Deus, eu apertei errado. Calma, tem que subir pra lá. Ah, é pra lá que é pra ir, entendi. Tem um negócio aqui, ó. Pra cá e pra lá. Vamos lá. Cadê o último? Tem um caminho pra lá e tem um lugar pra ir pra cá. Eita! Nossa, quanto monstro! Calma, o que acontece se tacar o dendro com a Nemo? Ah, não acontece nada? Olha a germinação, cadê a germinação? Queimadura, nossa, que dano saboroso do queimadura. Nossa, 12k? Que isso? Vamos lá, germinação neles. Puxou. Tá, deixa eu ver como é que vai ser o esquema de ter elemento dendro junto aqui. Pera aí que eu tô morrendo. Morre não, cavalo. Aí. Ah, eu esqueci de tacar o dendro, né, pra fazer a germinação. O dendro. Aí. Eita, girou um... Que isso? Não! Não, não era pra sair voando não, pera aí. Faltou o baú. O que tá acontecendo, véi? Não! Ah, não, mano, eu não acredito que eu saí voando e deixei o baú pra trás, velho. O que tá acontecendo, véi? Socorro. Não, cavalo, sai daí. Ah, mano, eu vou ter que voltar. Não. Não, ah, velho, eu perdi o baú, velho, que ódio. Sério mesmo que eu perdi o baú? Nossa, não tem como voltar. Lascou. Meu Deus, eu perdi o baú por brincadeira, mano. Caramba, pior que não dá pra voltar, né? Ou se eu ficar aqui parado, volta. Não, pai, isso aqui tá me matando. Negócio estranho aqui no chão. É, eu vou ter que avançar, né, velho? Tem jeito, perdemos o baú. Perdemos o baú, família, deu ruim. Ué, como é que eu vou subir ali? Por aqui? Oxi. Ih. Nossa, tem que chegar bem aqui na pontinha. Tá, calma, deixa eu... Ui, aqui eu comento a usar o zonguilhão, então o casulo pra passar, porque... Nossa, eu tô preso, calma aí. Meu Deus, o que tá acontecendo? Calma. Calma. Ah, eu não consigo voar pra lá. Tá, deixa eu pensar, vou ter que pegar alguém de corpo pra poder passar disso aqui. Eu não consigo sair voando. Ai, não dá pra pegar, caramba, agora lascou. Lascou que um casulo não consegue chegar até ali, ó. Ele não consegue escalar. Será que dá pra escalar a parede? Deixa eu ver. É, não dá pra escalar a parede também. Tá, deixa eu tentar. E se eu pular pra trás e dar um dash? Ui, quase! Caraca, eu acho que eu vou ter que sair de dentro do domínio. Vou ter que sair pra pegar um personagem de quarto pra passar isso aqui. Lascou. Eu não alcanço, mesmo tendo um Kazuha. Tem como teleportar pra lá? Nossa, não dá. Tem que ter um arqueiro pra poder sair voando ali, ó. Ah, era fazer isso aqui. Nossa, agora que eu entendi, você tem que apertar o X e o R1 pra frente? Que doideira. Nossa, depois que a gente descobre isso, que legal. Calma aí, o que é pra fazer que eu não entendi? 3 negócios e ativar, ok. Ah, era pra abrir a passagem, entendi. Pra poder ativar aquele negócio estranho lá, é só você usar o negócio de dentro, apertar X e R1 pra frente. Aquele negocinho da seta. Pelo que eu entendi, mais ou menos. Deixa eu ver se dá pra trocar pelo menos a arma dele, né? Que essa arma dele aqui tá um bem absoluto. Meu Deus, que arma ruim. Tá, deixa eu pegar a arma de Kim aqui. Pode ser do Ayato mesmo. Eu nem tenho artefato pro viajante, né? Sei lá. Eu não sei com que o Dendro escala. Nossa, porque eu não tenho nada pra Dendro. Ah, vou ter que pegar o basicão mesmo. Pegar o ataque aqui, ó. Espada e espadão. Deixa eu pegar o dano L, vai. É um cavalo. Apertei errado aqui. Aqui. Cadê o de ataque? Ataque. Aqui eu não tenho bônus elemental, né? Vai ter que ser qualquer um aqui. Pode ser bônus de dano físico mesmo. E aqui pode ser qualquer um pra poder completar o set. Pronto, tá bom. Melhor que nada. Bora.
What's the matter? You don't look so good.
Ué? Dá pra pular lá? Como assim vestir o corredor? Corredor do quê? Que corredor isso aqui? Ué? Tá bloqueado? Dá pra subir lá? Não. Oxi. Que estranho. Não dá pra abrir uma porta, alguma coisa assim? Caramba, corredor. Pera aí. Ah, foi pra lá. Dá pra abrir a porta. Ah, era esse truque aqui, ó. Não sabia, ó. Era pra fazer isso aqui, ó. Tá vendo, ó? Olha lá, tem que formar a imagem. Calma aí que não... Quase. É aqui a imagem. Agora como é que eu vou formar essa imagem? Calma aí. Tá, deixa eu ver. Tá quase. Ui, tá quase. Ó, tem que ser bem na maciota. Pronto. Fica nessa posição que eu fiquei, pessoal, pra vocês poderem passar disso aqui. Agora eu posso abrir a porta, provavelmente. Aí, agora liberou o selo da porta. Se a gente não presta atenção, nós não consegue passar, velho. Tá, abriu um elevador. Vamos lá. Eu aprendi a resolver esses truques fazendo muito domínio de Liu, que tem esses negocinhos. Vá para a plataforma superior. Pera aí que tá carregando. Nossa, o domínio tá bem maneiro, mas o problema é essa mecânica do descubro aqui, que eu não consegui entender isso aqui até agora, vi. Ó, tá indo. Ah, entendi, você tem que pular e depois apertar o X e o R1 pra frente. Pra poder teleportar. Calma aí. Tem que tacar o dentro, será? Sim. Como não tá indo o jogo? Ô jogo, você tá me trollagem? Ué? Pra subir? Ai, vai lá. Ah, que mentira, como não foi, véi. Não tá indo. Cá. Caramba. Não tá indo. Será que eu tenho que mirar um com o outro? Deixa eu ver se dá pra trocar. Ah, mano. Essa mecânica, velho. Essa mecânica. Tô perdendo pra própria mecânica. Calma, cadê a mecânica daquele lá? Ixi, agora pra achar a mecânica aqui que vai ser tenso aí. Tá, aqui é a mecânica do robô, aqui é a mecânica do trampolim. Tá indo aí, vai. Deixa eu tentar dar a volta, que eu não entendi isso aqui. Não tá indo esse negócio. Será que tem que ter um arqueiro de dendro pra passar disso aqui? Ó, que eu tô mirando e ele não tá indo. Tá indo. Ah, agora funcionou. Tá, funcionou primeiro, mas como é que eu vou fazer o outro? Vai. Meu, eu não sei se tem que mirar. Essa mecânica aqui me prejudicou, véi. Tem que ter um arqueiro dentro pra passar disso aqui que eu não entendi. Ó, deixa eu tentar ultar aqui. Pera aí, ultei com ele. Aí. Por que não tá indo? Ah, porque com o quadrado e o outro junto? É isso que é pra fazer? Oh, meu Deus, só porque eu fui ultar eu perco um negócio. Calma, cavalo. Vai, cavalo. Aí. Cadê o negócio? Nossa, agora que eu entendi. A gente tinha que usar o dendro para depois apertar o ali um quadrado pra frente para ele teleportar. Igual a mecânica do negócio. Eita. Depois de eu perder meia hora só com aquilo ali, né? Eita, vamos ter que enfrentar ele? Nossa, vou ter que sair no X1 com ele. Confidente do Presságio é o nome dele. Eu tava esperando por isso, né? Mas vamos lá. Calma, usa o Shingeki, tá com o negócio de dentro e vira ela. Germinação nele, boa. É, acho que não dá não. Esse bicho é super forte aí. Ah, é só porque eu tô sem a ganho, velho. Vamos lá, taca o dendro, vai, querido, gera dendro aí. Gera germinação, agora vamos gerar germinação. Ai, deu 10k. Tá bom.
Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. We've faced others like him before. What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler, are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
Ela Tagner vai aparecer. Quer ver que o Tagner vai aparecer? Pra salvar o Traveler?
What do we do? We have... Oh, there she is! Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Caramba, tudo aquilo que aconteceu então foi um sonho que eu entrei naquele domínio.
Who is there? Tighnari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tighnari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
I see. So, you're friends of Tighnari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tighnari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food or... Alright, we're out, traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tighnari came to visit.
O mais estranho é que essa criatura só apareceu por Traveler, mas aparece o papai, mano. É estranho isso aí, véi. Vamos lá. O que é pra fazer que eu não entendi? Preparar comida? Ah, era só pra acender, tá. Você cozinha uns pratos na fogueira.
All done! Let's use the empty box that Tighnari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing! And the box is a nice touch too! Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia!
Tá bom então, né, pai, mano? Vamos lá. Entrega a comida que você fez para a Hypatia. Vamos lá entregar para ela.
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte.
Entrega a comida e vamos lá.
Even though everything you mentioned was in Tighnari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn Ale for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spent their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn Ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experience the sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn Ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though, it appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spiritborn Ale should no longer trigger such reactions.
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritawe Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa, so knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Aren't you afraid of the risks, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself, and they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. Sure enough, I never dreamed again. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life, I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and... There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Então, pessoal, acabei tendo que pausar aqui para poder atender uma ligação e também poder tomar uma água ali. Por isso que eu fiquei uns segundos ali paradinho. Mas já voltei. Vamos lá tentar finalizar essa missão, que essa missão tá até bem longa, hein? Já tá quase dando 2 horas de live. Tá, o que é pra fazer agora? Só pra ir lá pra frente, ok. Eu fiz errado. Meu, eu não entendi essa mecânicazinha aqui desse negócio. Que apertar bem na hora certinha. Você mira e aperta. Nossa, é estranho isso aqui. Você tem que mirar e depois apertar o L em um quadrado para poder ficar teleportando. É meio estranha essa mecânica desse negocinho de teleporte. Não é que nem tipo que nem do Eletrogrum, que você só aperta e já vai direito.
Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari, but you...
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the Academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us, too.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right. We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. How about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Immorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukadevata. Some say that this very item is the basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! That's right. Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave. Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck to you both.
I've been waiting for you two. Never mind. I guess I should just wish you two a safe and successful journey.
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend, not some girl that needs your sympathy. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another.
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your past with us. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Before you leave, I have something for you.
Oh? What is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little, messy, so please don't laugh.
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
Ok, tá bom então. Deixa eu despedir da Cole aqui, do cachorro aqui também, né? Vamos lá. Vá até a cidade de Sumeru. Que tá ali na frente. Eu ainda tô dentro da minha missão? Tô dentro da mesma missão.
Time to go.
Sumeru City! We finally made it! Oh, did you see that? When those people entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge. After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal. As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha Terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival. Here are your Akasha terminals. Please handle them with care.
It kinda looks like a leash.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Oh, says this little doodad lets you access knowledge. Maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom. Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh, that'll come in real handy.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Suristana. Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. Oh, come on! Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it. Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it? You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon. Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of Sumeru really missed their Archon. We're Outlanders, and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive an answer to this sort of question or something. Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tainari recommended. He's from Sumeru, and even has a position in the Academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha. Let's see. Tainari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's not far from the city's gate. Let's head over and have a look. Hopefully he's at home.
Esse negócio que eles receberam aqui é aquele negócio que tem lá no Dragon Ball, né, para poder medir a força. Essa referência foi mais de 8.000.
Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great! You see, Tainari sent us here and...
What? Tainari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
Here! This is a letter from Tainari!
Oh, let me see... Oh! Ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So, you two just have some questions for me? Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure you'd be able to access more info than we did.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Huh. Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
But then what can we do?
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing. In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tainari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me. Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Oh, Paimon's expectations were pretty low, but this is so low it's like digging holes in the dirt. So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here. Huh? Like who? Oh, you're right! Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
I've been handed all the cumbersome tasks again.
É legal essa parte da cidade aqui. É bem maneira.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Hello, Traveler and Paimon.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Aww, another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight within mercenary circles. If you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Rexar. You're welcome. I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
Alright, off to the Citadel of Rexar we go!
Uma excelente pergunta, né? Se Sumeru é maior que Liyue, deixa eu ver. Eu acho que provavelmente pode ser. Talvez seja um pouco maior, né? Porque essa parte aqui pode ser a parte mais inicial. Vai que ainda tem mais pra lá também, lá. Não sei se seria exatamente maior. É, eu acho que tem quase o mesmo tamanho. Maior mesmo não é, porque tem essa parte aqui também, né? Ó. A parte de Liyue vai até aqui, ó, que é Liyue. Embora aqui pareça monstro demais, não. Aqui é Liyue também, ó. Até esse trecho aqui todo, ó. Então acho que não é maior que a Liyue, não. Mas chega bem perto, provavelmente. Maior não é ainda. Também tem um despenhadeiro, né? Que é outra região que tá a parte gigantesca. Ela tem a parte submersa também do despenhadeiro, que é a mina subterrânea. Cidadela.
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand. We'd like to ask you about something.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way. Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Wait, seriously? That's it?
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you. We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands to carve out a living. We don't beg gods for their aid. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Oh? Why's that?
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late Greater Lord Rugudevada. In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rugudevada and hold her in greater esteem. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists. And that's all.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that, Paimon feels bad for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the God of Wisdom doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
Alright, well, thanks for the info, Osfond.
No problem. Always happy to help out the Adventurers Guild.
Seems Osfond was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru. But the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad, one of Lesser Lord Kusanali's faithful followers.
Whoa, really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon. Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the Dendro Archon. In despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on his own strength, he managed to overcome the adversity. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon. She said, "O Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you. Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go."
Yeah, thanks for the story! Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened? It looks like they're searching for someone. Dunyarzad was acting super nervous just now. You think that... this stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali! We can't let them get in the way now. Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad.
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
medo dessa risadinha da Paimon, véi. Paimon Marvaldinha. Nossa, tem um negócio aqui de venda também. É tanta coisa que tem aqui pra fazer, véi. Tá, o que é pra fazer? Ué, ela tá aqui, ela tá aqui do lado.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for me. Uh-oh, looks like there's some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. It's difficult for me to run. Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to. They probably wouldn't expect me to hide in a place like that.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
É isso aí, vamos arriscar nossa vida por alguém aleatório que acabamos de conhecer. É isso aí, pessoal, faz isso mesmo, hein? Da hora essa ideia. Vamos lá arriscar nossa vida por alguém que acabou de conhecer. Nem sabe o que tá acontecendo, mas só vai, véi. Ai meu Deus, só no Genshin mesmo. A pessoa já vai se arriscando a própria vida assim, na aleatório. Acabou de conhecer. Isso aqui tá parecendo um mundo de Isekai, né? Que tem esses negócios aí.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait, stand down, Dia.
My lady, who are these two?
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for you.
Wait a sec! Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Hey! Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do. And knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits, and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. They still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been living with us a long time already. This should be old news to you. Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to. Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents. This is my life, and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Fine. I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination, not because I agree with you.
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being so rude just now. My nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your payment in such an offensive way.
Don't worry about it, my lady. I did say that I like Mora. Besides, that's our next topic of conversation. Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me. We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like for you to join us.
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Então, pessoal, só fiz um barulho estranho porque eu tava segurando pra não cair na gargalhada aqui. Que eu ia fazer uma piada besta aqui, mas melhor não fazer, senão vou ser cancelado no Twitter, né? Então essa aqui é a personagem Deria, ou Denia. É uma mulher bonitamente assustadora ao mesmo tempo, né? Bonita e assustadora.
Well, if it isn't Dia, haven't seen you in nearly half a year. Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Don't you find that kind of work boring?
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it, huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often. We'll be sure to prepare our very best.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
Wait, we're paying for ourselves now? Aw, Paimon kinda wanted to try something fancy, but we aren't exactly loaded. Guess Paimon will settle for something ordinary.
How about our coconut charcoal cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass. Hey, come on! Paimon has personal preferences too, you know. Dunyarzad, we asked a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Huh? Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was no sound. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry. Huh? Who are you? How do you know my name? How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you. Really? Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals on your mom's skirt. Wow, you really do know everything. Dunyarzad, is there anything you want? Want? Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything. Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want, and maybe I can make it happen. But, can you make my illness go away? Oh. I'm sorry. But I'm not powerful enough to do that right now. Then, can you be my friend?
After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend." Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Teyvat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Teyvat. Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world, nor would I have learned how to read and enjoy so many books. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Subzeroes Festival for her.
What's the Subzeroes Festival?
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday, which was the day that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival. The Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Subzeros Festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death, so they're reluctant to celebrate it.
Aww, but that's awful.
It is. It's absolutely terrible. Sure, the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away now.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Subzeros Festival to this day, but I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kusanali. I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilu, the one who sends flowers to the estate?
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you give her something?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much Mora prepared, so I had Nilu sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilu to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today, and see how things are coming along. Dia, would you accompany me?
Sure. That's quite the trip, though. I'll carry you.
No, that would be too much, even for you.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
But of course. Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Vá até o Grande Bazar. Tem essa musiquinha de fundo aqui. Tá, vamos lá. Essa missão aqui é grande, hein? Caramba, grande a missão. Eu achei esse design da Derria bem legal, um dos mais maneiros até o momento que eles criaram aqui do jogo. Derria. Ela é uma mulher assustadoramente bonita, literalmente. Ela é assustadora e bonita ao mesmo tempo, né? E o mais estranho é que ela tem um olho que parece olho de gato, não, uma mistura muito louca de... sei lá. O olho dela é azul e tem um corte parecido com olho de gato. Mas o design dela é bem maneiro. Vamos lá. Atrás dessa pessoa chamada Nilo, que eu não sei quem que é. Mas bora lá. Vamos pro Grande Bazar. Vamos atrás de uma pinchincha no Grande Bazar. Entender a piada? Eu acho que já deve estar acabando a missão, provavelmente.
Sorry I'm late, Nilu.
Oh, Dunerzad. It was taking you so long that I assumed you got trapped at home. But you made it in the end. Uh-oh. But if Dia's here, that means you got caught, right?
You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
Not completely.
Oh, and who are these two?
Oh, meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends. They're visitors who just arrived at Sumeru City, and are looking for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali.
So you're followers from another land? That's wonderful. You two absolutely mustn't miss the Subzeroes Festival. By the way, Dunerzad, we've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar. It looks spectacular, thanks to your generous contribution.
You're very welcome. It's the only thing I could do. Do you still have enough Mora?
Probably? But don't sweat it. We've already finished renovating the stage. Come on, I'll show you.
Essa daí é... Então essa aí que é a Nilo. É a personagem que apareceu dançando lá no teaser. Provavelmente ela deve ser tipo uma Yanfei das Arábias, praticamente. A Yanfei da turma, que é a amiguinha do Arconte ali, ó.
This place is amazing!
Not bad. Last time I was here, the stairs were full of holes.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off. Mr. Zubair was worried sick. We reported it to the academia many times, but they never sent anyone to deal with it. We didn't want anything bad happening, so we were going to cancel all the stage performances.
Oh, probably because it was the theater asking.
The academia looks down on performers like us. They probably think it would be best if the theater closed down completely. We can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be able to hold the Subzeroes Festival anymore. Thank the Dendro Archon for Dunerzad. But the more she gave us, we hired someone to patch up the tree, and we also gave the stage a much-needed makeover. The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time. I can't wait for you to see it.
And I can't wait to see you on the stage. You've been practicing so long already. It's almost time for your dream to become reality.
It's our dream. I'll do my best for the two of us.
Nilu, what are you gonna be doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Subzeros, the most important performance at the Subzeros Festival.
Dunyarzad, have you told him the origin of this holiday?
I only told them about the Greater Lord and Lesser Lord so far.
Okay, then I'll tell you two about how this holiday came to be. According to legend, the Subzeros Festival was originally the Goddess of Flowers' birthday celebration for the Greater Lord. A long, long time ago, on one of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthdays, her friends threw her a celebratory banquet. Some of the gods got drunk. One started playing music, and the Greater Lord started singing, so the Goddess of Flowers began to dance. As she danced upon the grass, countless beautiful Parisaras began to bloom wherever she stepped. Those brilliant purple flowers became her dazzling stage. All the gods clamored, "Oh, if only time could stop at this very moment." Of course they did. When people mention the gods, they always think of the Archon War. But Sumeru's gods also had happy times. Although they aren't around anymore, they're preserved in our tradition of dance. This outfit I'm wearing is apparently based on how the Goddess of Flowers looked. Though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered Parisaras around the stage.
They symbolize the Goddess of Flowers, after all. It's just a shame that all the real Parisaras went extinct after her death.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth Parisaras in memory of the Goddess of Flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful purple.
Thinking about the Goddess of Flowers dance makes me wish I could have seen it. If my stage were anything like that, I'd be thrilled if I had just two real Parisaras on the stage. So, Traveler and Paimon, what do you think? Interested in the Subzeros Festival? Will you two—
All of Lesser Lord Kusanali's followers will be there for her birthday. It'll be a good opportunity for you to learn more about her.
Ooh, Paimon thinks that's a great idea! Hey, come on! There's nothing wrong with enjoying a festival. Besides, it's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. She'll be happy to have more people who are celebrating it.
So how about we all attend the Subzeros Festival together?
Dunyarzad, let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Traveler and Paimon, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then feel free to explore the area. Everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Subzeros Festival.
In that case, we'll take a look around.
Então, pessoal, acho que eu vou ter que interromper por aqui por hoje, né, que já tá também bem tarde. Amanhã a gente continua fazendo o resto aqui da missão, que pelo visto essa missão é grande pra caramba. Ela tá muito maior do que eu tava imaginando aqui. E já deu minha hora de hoje aqui. Infelizmente eu vou ter que parar pra poder continuar depois, né? Que realmente é muita coisa pra ficar fazendo tudo num único dia. Essa missão tá longa até demais. Tanto de tempo que eu já fiquei aqui, velho. Ou será que só falar com eles já acaba a missão? Ah, não sei, vai. Eu vou até aqui e já vamos até o fim, né?
Dancing at the Subzeros Festival. You know, I also danced when I was younger. As a child, I even asked my grandmother why we performed the dance for the Lesser Lord when it was originally done to honor the Greater Lord. My grandmother said that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is a beloved deity and honored by all, and Lesser Lord Kusanali is too. If the goddess of flowers ever knew Lesser Lord Kusanali, then she would certainly have wished to be her friend and hold celebrations for her too. The Subzeros Festival has been losing its appeal over the years. That is, until a wealthy benefactor stepped in this year and brought the festival back to life. I heard she forked out a lot of mora to make it all happen.
Ok, né? Tá, deixa eu ver quem tem que falar aqui. Eu vou falar com uma criança.
Whoa! What's with your yellow hair? And why do your clothes look so funny? Are you an outlander? Did you know that the Subzeros Festival is about to happen? There'll be loads of fun things to do at the festival. But the best part is when Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, passes out candy to everyone.
Acho que eu vou ter que interromper por aqui mesmo, realmente. Mas a gente continua. Ai, deixa eu lá. Falou, pessoal. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Não deixe de curtir e compartilhar para poder dar aquela moral lá. Amanhã a gente continua essa missão, que essa missão aqui tá grande demais. Tá até bem mais do que eu imaginei. Mas a gente continua e também já faz a continuação também, a próxima missão, provavelmente, que é outra missão lendária. Mas enfim, espero que vocês tenham gostado, pessoal. Eu vou ficando nessa por aqui. Valeu aí, pessoal, e falou. Tchau, tchau, pessoal. Mas a gente continua falando com ela aqui. Cadê aquela nova personagem aí? Que todo mundo vai provavelmente correr atrás pra pegar, né? Eu já vou aproveitar e já fazer outras coisas também, né? Como explorar o mapa. Fazer as missões aqui. Que hoje realmente é muita coisa para poder processar. Mas enfim, a gente continua. Falou, tchau, tchau, pessoal. Até a próxima. Até mais, boa noite aí, bom descanso pra vocês aí, pô. Falou, tchau, tchau.